Hello, today is July 11th, 2019. We're here in Fondren Library. My name is Tiffany Sloan.
I'm Akhil Janalagadda.
And today we're here to interview Kenneth Lee. And
Yes.
so, Mr. Lee, could you please start off by telling us about your childhood and where you were born?
Kenneth Lee. I was born in Taiwan, a beautiful island. It's called the Republic of China. And I grew up I should say, when I was 14. I moved to Hong Kong. And then in Hong Kong, I finished my high school education. And I came to the United States in 1981. So I stayed in Los Angeles for about, less than half a year. And then I decided to move to Houston. So mainly it's for my education. So my background, I should say, I was born in a middle-class family. My grandfather, my parents, they are in the business. So I grew up in that environment. And I should say I have a very fortunate, very enjoyable life when I was in Taiwan and Hong Kong. And then I came by myself. So I came here to study finish my college education. So I went to Houston Baptist University. At that time, my uncle opened the first Asian grocery store on Bel Air, and then he asked me to help him. I think that's the reason I chose Houston Baptist, is because it's close to the store. It's in the southwest area. So that's my early part of life.
And so you said you were born in Taiwan, correct?
Yes.
Was your family originally from Taiwan, or did they come from mainland China?
Actually, both of my parents born in Shanghai, and they're originally from Zhejiang. It's another province, small village. But they met in Taiwan, and they were married in Taiwan. So so I should say I should be I was born in Taiwan, but my parents is from mainland China.
And what kind of inspired the move to Hong Kong whenever you were 14?
It's two reasons. One is the U.S. government, how do you say that? They broke their relationship with ROC, and at that time, of course, a lot of people got panic, and I'm the first child, so my parents say, you better move to Hong Kong, stay with your uncle, and let's see we're gonna what's the plan will be, and that's why I moved to Hong Kong, and but that is a big change of my life. That's the first time I left my home, my hometown, and live independently, But fortunately, my uncle take good care of me, just like their own child. So I still enjoy the life. Probably that's the best part of Hong Kong at that time.
And so were you always planning on coming to America, or was that something just...
Not really. Hong Kong is a British colony, right? So all my friends, they went to Britain, Australia, Canada. I think the main reason I come to U.S. is my uncle decided to move to United States. And he told me that if I go to United States, I wish you can come with me, and then maybe I can help you. So that's why I start to prepare myself to come to United States to finish my college education, and then maybe, as he said, maybe you can help. And that's why I came to Houston.
And so, were your parents supportive of you coming to the United States?
Yes, I think everybody thinking United States is a great place to go, and So they support that. Yes.
And I believe you mentioned the first city you came to was LA, correct?
Yeah, this area. Yes.
Could you kind of talk about your first impressions of that city and what it was like for you?
Oh, it's great. Weather is great. The second day is I went to the Disneyland, and then my uncle's friend allowed me to stay there for for a while, and he just bought a big mansion. I still remember it's a beautiful house, just like the movie in Gone with the Wind, a huge mansion. I say, wow, America is so good. Everybody live in a big house. So yeah, the impression is very good. Yeah, yeah. But the reason I moved there is I think I never been to Houston, and but my uncle decided he's going to open a store, which is a chain store from LA called the DeHo Market. And then he said, well, let's do it. And then why don't you go first? And we're going to plan, to go there soon. That's why I decided to move.
And so how long were you in LA?
It's about, actually, I can say about 4 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 3 or 4 months. Yeah.
And were you kind of surprised by Houston in any way? Was it very different from LA?
Well, I can tell you in the early 80s, I feel it's about the same, because Houston was booming at that time in the early 80s. And of course, it's hot and humid, like Hong Kong and Taiwan. So the weather, I should say, it's a bit hot, but I get used to that. Other than that, I just feel it's more. Well, it's Texas, so it's different, And so I couldn't believe that I stayed here for such a long time, since '80 till now. Never move, yeah.
Can you kind of talk about the process of setting up the supermarket with your uncle? And was that a really impactful experience for you?
It is. I was at a school and a full-time student. I also worked full-time, with my uncle. And then at the time, he not only doing the supermarket, but a joint venture with some local developers. So they also own the real estate. And that's how I get involved that, not only just the grocery store, but also the real estate. And which is probably the first one in the Southwest area. And so that gave me a lot of learning experience, of course, how to set up a store from scratch, and see the building was built up from scratch, and then and everybody shared their knowledge with me, and it's really kind of new to me. Yeah.
And
So that's quite a big experience.
And so what were you studying at school at HBU?
I study the easiest subject, I think, mathematics and computer information system.
Oh.
I stay in the dorm, and fortunately I graduated with a very high, almost a 4.0. So I feel pretty lucky here.
So did this kind of study help you in your future life with business?
I think every training helped, especially during my study in the campus. I made a lot of friends, and I really enjoy, the campus life. And at a later time, I start to work in the market, but I enjoy both. So it's really probably the happiest moments in my life.
And so had you always intended on going on to business, or was there a moment that kind of changed your mind?
Well, actually, that's a good question. I never worked for anybody. Always, maybe it's the heritage. My mom always tell me, don't work for anybody, just work for yourself, which it's maybe not true, but when you brought up have that kind of the concept, and then of course when I graduate in the mid '80s, and then starting you see the downturn of the oil prices, and Houston is really the economy is down to the strength, down to the bottom. So a lot of people actually move out of Houston, right? And it's not easy to find a job. So that's why I start helping my uncle to start my own business. So I'm doing several other business like not only supermarket, restaurant, trading, and so give me a lot of exposure to a lot of kind of business, and then I really concentrate on the real estate business since I think I founded my company in 1988, and ever since that, so I'm doing this, like forever. Yeah.
And so how long were you working at the supermarket, and what kind of steps did you take after that to lead up to your career now?
How long? I think I should say after the Deho Market, we expanded to the adjacent shopping center. At that time, all the store closed out because of the economy, and there's one supermarket was vacant, and then I converted that into a new Asian market, and so after that, I just decided I need to go to the real estate. So you can say should be about from 1983 to probably to the 91.
And so were you still kind of working at the market whenever you were starting up your own real estate business in '88?
No, I only shop at the supermarket. But I love supermarket. Every time I go to every city, I go to either visit the Chinatown. I want to see the trend of the supermarket. Yeah, I still, it's not an easy job, but I enjoy that.
So what kind of businesses were booming around your supermarket, and have those kind of changed over time?
Well, I think the model is supermarket, hometown food, bookstore, a lot of things that related to the people who were from. At that time in the 80s, it's people who either born here or from I think from Taiwan at that time, from 70s, and then of course the trend is always changing. Later it's from Hong Kong, and then now it's more like from mainland China. Yeah.
Could you talk about how the Texas George Realty came to be?
Well, it's really a catchy name. Why Texas George? Because at that time I was very in favor of the Republican Party. So when George Bush Sr. is running the president, I said I'm for that. And then not only for the, so I said, well, let's say I want from Texas, so Texas George Realty. And then the supermarket, I said just convert. We call it George 99 Supermarket, So, and that's why I met Mr. Bush Sr. Later on, and he just said, "Oh, that's so nice of you. So I hope the business is doing well." I said, "It's doing well, thank you." Yeah. So the George 99 Supermarket, we sold it to another group. It's called the Welcome Center, which is still exists nowadays. Yeah, the Deho Market we founded, we formed, which was sold. Now it's called the Justco. So you can see, it changes because I think our family is total out of grocery business right now.
And so can you kind of talk about what Texas George Realty does and what your mission was?
Well, when I want to get into the real estate business, it's two there's two visions I have. One is I see the growing of the Asian community, especially the Chinese immigrants. At that time, we have estimate about 30,000 Chinese or Asian in Houston in the early 80s. And then when we want to find some real estate, it's not too many real estate agents provide that service. So I think it's a need for that. And the second thing is, whenever there's a crisis, there's opportunities. If you remember during the late 80s, the RTC, there's a lot of foreclosure of the bank savings and then the properties. So, the whole street is vacant. And then especially in the Southwest area. And I'm thinking that is a good opportunity to invest, because I truly believe real estate should always increase in value, and of course you have to build on that, putting the value to that. So I decide, to expand it to not expand. I went to California, go to the East Coast, or even go to overseas, try to get in some investors, to do some investment. And I think help. I bring a lot of investors from outside Houston area during the worst time. And that's why from the base that on Bel Air is a lot of property was bought out during that time. And I think it sustained the value of that, didn't going down. I remember Sharpstown A-Leaf used to be a very good middle class subdivisions like Sugarland is, but because of the economy downturn, change the demographic, But all this give me the incentive and motivation, And then fortunately, a lot of people seeing this kind of opportunities, and then it's quite a few come to Houston. And then now, today, we have about 300,000, they say the Chinese or Asian population in Houston. So population did increase. So, and also, when you're driving down on Bel Air, this is about 6 miles, nonstop. Almost, I think, 90% of the real estate were owned by Asians, which is amazing.
So I understand that Texas George Realty was named one of the top Asian-owned businesses in Houston.
Yes.
Can you talk about that achievement and what that was like for you?
I can just say maybe I'm lucky. Timing is good. Not too many competition at that time, But I always work with, it's not just the brokerage. I also involved with the commercial property management and development, and I work with everybody. Even it's not my company, but other company, So at that time we have just a few, maybe a handful Asian-owned real estate company, and then I think we work very closely, we help each other. Bring a lot of people from out of town, and it's doing great. And that's why at that time I think Houston Post, when they do a polling, and then I was lucky to be selected as is one of the top one with other Asian enterprise. Yeah. So we are still in the business. I'm still working. So now I think my vision is I need to bring a younger generation to to this business, and also this is a different information age. When I start my business, everything is done by fax or carbon paper. Now it's totally changed. Yeah, digital. Yeah.
Could you talk about the progression of your career and how your focus has kind of changed over time?
I can say I always try to have a challenge or a change. So when I have my Texas George Realty being established, and then I said, why I want to try a franchise. You know, we should go to the mainstream. So I bought the franchise, Century 21 at that time, and then and I found I'm the only one in Texas, you know, for I mean, all the Asian they just thinking I can do great just within my community, and I don't have to go to the mainstream to wherever. But I want to reach out, and I think the main thing is I'm still trying to do not only promoting my business, promoting Houston to the outside world, to promote Chinatown to the to the whole Houston area. I want that turn into we should be part of the Houston. It's not separated from that area, and that's why I devoted my business not only in the real estate, but also I devote a lot of time in the community work, promoting our community, not only just Chinese, but Asian. Yeah, so I think the real estate business really helped me to do that because it's a people business. Yeah, so I really enjoy that.
And so, in your line of work, did you experience a lot of discrimination, and were these kinds of setbacks towards your progress?
Discrimination, yes. When I started in the 80s, I couldn't find any Asian living in the River Oaks or Memorial, not too many. When we got into in the commercial real estate, nobody wants to talk to me because they don't know who I am. But I feel that there's a challenge because I always tell people we come late. We're 200 years late, so we need to do some catch up. But you got to show that you deserve that. So, so I asked my colleague, what is the most difficult destination you can get for the real estate practitioner at that time? Oh, they say CCIM, Certified Commercial Investment Member. That costs you a lot of money, and you have to do it. So I say, I'm going to get it. To get it, just want to show people I'm serious about the business, and then you have to join, their membership, go to their meetings, and then, of course, that's one of the reasons I joined one of the main franchise. At that time, franchise is everything, not like nowadays. Now, so I go to a lot of conventions, and I found out I'm the only Asian, or a few Asian faces. It's not enough, and that's why give me some idea. I need to create some trade organizations, especially for Asian, and then that's the beginning. I start getting into a lot of work in the community side. Yes.
And so, in 2015, your influence led to the city of Houston approving a budget of $21 million in order to reconstruct the roads in Chinatown.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about how that impacted the Chinese community and what that milestone was like for you personally?
Okay, the reason that I want to do that is when I was appointed by Mayor Lanier to be the first Asian to serve on the Planning Commission. And I learned that, in the real estate or a lot of business, the American way is you have to work with the government, and you have to play leverage, and the government can also help on on something that when you do your development. So, and then I helped to create a we call the tax reinvestment zone, which is a government body, and then you create a district, and then if the economic value goes up, there'll be a portion of the extra money will stay in the same area for the infrastructure. And of course, still the budget is controlled by the city. So I think that's a great vehicle, you know. It's like downtown and Galleria, you know, they are using that. And then in the southwest area, I know our council member is working hard, but the city never give using the enough, they call it CIP money, to do all this infrastructure work. So maybe the tourists can help. At that time, I worked with the Shopstown owners, the Alameda Tower, some major real estate owners to form this district. The purpose is that's in the 90s. The Shopstown Mall still is doing really good, but the mall concept starting getting old and then need a change. So the main purpose is maybe to redevelop the mall and then do some other infrastructure help, and then especially the expansion and update of Bel Air Boulevard. And Chinatown just happened to be there, to be part of it. So after a lot of planning, after many mayor administrations, finally we got budget approved, and then we issued the bond by the tourists, and so that's how we get the money. And then, of course, I mean, we do have some other project. It's like we help the Halliburton site on the Beltway 8. It's part of that, and then we'll wait for the redevelopment of the mall, and then of course we we're still waiting, and then at that time we just say, well, since we still have some budget, why don't we concentrate on the road expansion? So actually the expansion is, the phase 1 is from 59 South Freeway on Bel Air, from the east all the way to Beltway 8, you know. So the Chinatown is on the west side of this section. So again, that's how we get the money. And then after that, we also spent another $20 million to expand the Fondren Corridor, which is intersection at Bel Air and then close to the 59. So that's how we got the money. You know, if we have the funding, of course, the rest is just the construction work. Yeah. So so that is the process when you have the this when you have this organization being formed, you have to work on that, because not every tourist has the right project, have the budget to do that. Just fortunately, we have a good team, good board members, and then with the mayor's support, and then with the right professional to help to make it happen. And so after that, I also helped to create a management district. It's called the Southwest Management District. And the Southwest Management District goes through the state of Texas, and then got commercial property owners, petition. So this management district is more like maintaining the property. So because when you expand the property, the city will say, well, it's all yours then. You have to maintain that. Maintain the landscape, the trash pickup, or a little bit and maintenance thing. So that's why we have management district and the tourists to serve this area. So later on you can see there's another district was formed called the International Management District, but the tourists didn't expand to that area. So they only have a management district, but they don't have tourists to help them to fund this infrastructure. So all this I think I learned through the my experience with the city, to meet a lot of professionals, and to learn how to work with not just within our community, but you have to outside the box, outside the community, and let's work together. And surprisingly, I found out, on this management district, we're the only one, because we are the most diversified district. when I helped to create that, I said I want to divide it, not divide it, but zone this as a different zone. For instance, on Hillcroft and 59, there's now they call it Little India, we call it South Asian district. And then on we including the Houston Baptist, we call it that more like a university zone, including the Memorial Hermann. And then we have Harwin, which is probably one of the most famous outlet. It's a lot of small retail, wholesale and street, Harwin district. And Shopstown Mall, we call that the Shopstown area. And then Chinatown. Total is 6 zones. So this is the only place, the only Chinatown they call within a management district in the entire America. So that's why they say, oh, this is probably the most new one and a clean one, So all this is work not only just within ourselves, but have to work with, the whole community to work with. And this management district and then the tourists, we don't want to affect the residents. So we don't tax the residents, but they can get the benefits of that. Who pay for that? All the commercial property owners pay for that. And we think if we bring the value on that, it's going to benefit everybody. So far, it's a win-win situation. Yeah. So it's, I'm sorry, it's a simple question, but it's complicated. Why it happened? It's not. It took us about over 15 years to make it happen. Yeah. Long time. Yeah.
So I've seen that you've gotten some really illustrious titles, such as the Pioneer or even maybe the Mayor of Houston Chinatown. So if you were to give a title to the role that you play within the Chinese community, what do you think it would be?
They call me because they say, Ken, why you spend so much time? You have your own business. You always smoke. No private life. You always go to a lot of functions. And support a lot of candidates. And then promote Chinatown. I told them Chinatown is not a territory. It is a concept. In every international city in the world, they always have a Chinatown. And it didn't say it has to be in a certain area as a Chinatown. Maybe you can say, oh, that's a boundary. But it's a concept, you say, it is a international city. We welcome everybody. I want to promote it as a tourist spot. I work with the city of Houston, the visiting bureau. They said actually in the last 15 years, we have a lot of newcomers from all over the America. And then if you go outside the Southwest Houston, it's more like every other major city, It's pattern. It's always the franchise, the chain store, the fast food. But once you come to the Southwest area, you enjoy so much authenticity. You can go to Hillcroft. They have a Middle East, they have a Indian, South Asian, whatever. There's a lot of things. And then when you're driving down on Berea, you can enjoy all kinds of food. And then in these apartments that in this area, we are the most densely populated. And then there's I heard either 90 countries or over 100 languages was being spoken in the area. So you can enjoy all kinds of food. Now it's not only in Chinatown. You drive down on Berea all the way to Highway 6. You can see Vietnamese, even Korean, or all kind of international flavor, Colombia or whatever. Sometimes I just don't know which country that is. I think that is amazing thing, to happen. I want to promote that not only to the outside world, but even within the Houston. Let people feel that they don't have to go to Asia or go to some other place. They can enjoy a lot of different flavor of the food. Food is, I think, the most enjoyable things for people to enjoy the culture. So I even work with the Chinese Community Center to arrange a Asian heritage tour. So that is let not just the Asian, actually it's non-Asian to know, the flavor. So we're not only visiting the food, the restaurant, went to Halloween to shopping, maybe to temple or even a Vietnamese a church to experience. Or actually, I think there's an Indian temple, and people love that. So working very well. The visiting bureau is promoting that because if you have a one day you want to spend for newcomers, this is one of the tour, the half-day tour to let you experience that. So there's a lot of things. I'm thinking I want to promote that. Why I want to do that? Because just want to reach out to let the people know how fortunate we have to have this rich culture to have in Houston. Yeah.
And so you mentioned the Asian Heritage Tour as kind of a combination with the Visiting Bureau as a way to promote the diversity of Houston.
Yes.
Could you talk a little bit more about some other initiatives you've gone through in order to promote diversity of Houston?
Well, actually, it's of course like we reach out to the rodeo, put some ad on that, and then if there's a event going on, for instance, this next week. I think the Global Sister City have a conference in Houston, and we help on that to promote that. So we want to promote everything is international, and then bring some economic and business to the area, So to answer back your last question, so what did I do for our community is. I remember when I came in the 80s, there's another Chinatown in downtown that's nearby the George Brown Convention Center. But now too many people remember that anymore. It's totally gone, And the Southwest, the new Chinatown emerged. So I think not only just because I think during the downturn, when business fade away, people didn't realize they have to work together. They have to really not just get out, but you have to be more, I think, persistent to make your business better. That's how the Southwest doing that. And then I'm working on that all the time since the 80s, nonstop. So I bring a lot of business to this area. I promote this area. I help to form this kind of district. So people say, oh, and then finally people say, well, we need to define a zone of Chinatown. So I help, and I help the bilingual sign. The bilingual sign is another controversial thing at that time. But I helped that because I was thinking, the reason for that is the Chinese character actually use the phonetics of the sound, like a Barry Boulevard, we call the Bai Li. It's for the new immigrants how to pronounce the name and then give it a very lucky name, like a Bai Li, which means hundreds of benefits, So it's a good name. Like a Halloween, we call the Hao Yun, good luck. So people feel, oh, this is a nice street to stay or to do business. And that really promote, And so that's why people say, oh, you're the mayor, you know everybody, everybody, and then, you being so generous to whatever. But I help people remember I'm a part of it. Maybe I'm the person people recognize, but you can see there's over 100 restaurants within, I count that 0.7 miles. 4-5 shopping centers continuously. A lot of massage places, a lot of restaurants, a lot of banks. You know, Houston business journal even say Bay Area and corporate are the Asian Wall Street of Houston, the highest concentration of the bank in the area. And then they all have a very high, I can say, deposit. People like to save. And so safety is one of the major management district's task. So we work with police department very closely. You can check our reference. We are probably the best and the busiest district to work with the Houston police. We translate a safety brochure in about 10 languages, all in Asian, mostly in Asian language. And just want to let people to be aware that you should be aware. You know, it's America, but you have to be aware. A lot of safety brochures, a lot of things that we promote, a lot of things we work with the police department, and that helped to, of course, I think safety. When people come to the United States, safety is the number one, reason. And then, and that's why I spend a lot of time on this. It's not by myself. A lot of people work with me, so I just be proud of that. I just feel so fortunate to have, a lot of people to help me to make this happen. In other Chinatown, there's about 100, 200 years old, and we are starting from the 80s. It's only 40 years old. We're the youngest one, but I think we are the cleanest and the best one.
And so could you kind of talk about some of the areas or aspects of the Chinese community or even Chinatown that you wish that the city of Houston would support more?
Yes, I want, I went to a lot of international trips with the mayor, with the congressman. The only reason I went to is promote Houston. And City of Houston, we always say we are the most diversified city. And then every time when city have a international advisory board, I was always on the board and try to, but we always spend our own money and our own budget. City never have a budget to promote Houston as an international. Of course, they have a budget to do a lot of other things. So I think the city should really, if we are an international city, we really should have a lot of, doesn't have to be an office overseas, but at least you need some kind of a promotion to promote Houston as an international city, And that's one of the things I wish the city can help. The second thing is Southwest Houston is the most diversified district. And then the city should allocate some budget. If the city can do an excellent job, we don't have to create a tourist or management district because it will take care of themselves. But Houston has become so huge, and that's why this tourist and management district can effectively help, maintain the city. But I still would like to see, for instance, in Alief, the community center, we passed a budget of maybe over $20 million. Budget was approved, but we don't have the money, right? So how are we going to get the money for, or it's a lot of priorities, but we have to put Southwest Houston on the priority, I think, I shouldn't say it's the most neglected, but with the tax dollars we contribute and with the things that we have, we need to have a voice, So that's why I always encourage Asian American to come out to run or to vote. I think that's something that I want to. I think especially for the younger generation, we need to give them, more voice and more representation, and then that's how we need to work on. Yeah.
And so you've started numerous organizations to support the Chinese community and other Asian American populations as well in Houston.
Yes.
Could you talk about the development of these groups and their functions?
Yeah. There's several organizations I always work because I the reason when I took a lead of the organization, this is the purpose I'm thinking. I want to, for instance, when I serve as the Chinese Merchant Association, ONLEARN, which is they formed in the the headquarters in New York. They formed 100 years ago, you know, and in Houston about 60 years, and then this all led by older generations. So when I took a lead, I want to bring them to the, bring the new people in. That's why I try to involve them. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. I formed, there's two organizations I formed, I just remember very clearly is, the first one is the Asian Real Estate Association of America. Before that it's called Asian American Real Estate Association, kind of confusing, AREA. I formed that, it's because when I formed the Chinese Real Estate Association, about 25 years ago, I found out Chinese used to be the first Asian group to immigrate to Houston, and now it's later Vietnamese, South Asian they come. So Chinese, I think, is not inclusive, so I expanded to the Asian American. So when that was formed, that catch the attention of the national organizations. So I remember HAR, Houston Associated Realtors. We went to a convention, just say, why don't we host a planning meeting to invite all the Asian real estate organizations to Houston? Can we form a kind of a nationwide one, which we did form in Houston. It's called Asian Real Estate Association of America. It's formed in Houston. Now, later on, they moved to California, of course, because California has the most Asian live there. So that was formed, I think, in the early 2000s. Now this organization has 18,000 members and 40 chapters in North America. It's probably is one of the largest Asian organization, and it's a trade organization. I mean, we're not only including the real estate professional, but the developers, a lot of affiliate business. And I think that is something that I want to accomplish, because we're not only concentrate on trade organization, we also go to Capitol Hill, go to DC to promote Asian policy. There's one thing that we did is, on the census, I think, we have a kind of, the Asian was classified as others. Not like Hispanic and African American. Well, others like including the Indian or Native or Americans. So we say Asian are not others. We should classify as And the reason behind that, because whenever you have a government policy, the budget will go to others, but they wouldn't go to specifically to Asians. So we changed that through the legislature. So which means we're not only a trade organization, we're trying to change, we also try to change the policy in favor of the Asians. Of course, I know there's a lot of other organizations doing the same thing, but I just feel united is power. So this is one thing I think which is good, yeah. And I say I form many organizations. And sometimes it's just for, I was involved with the Taiwanese Chamber, because I was from Taiwan. But I always tell, we should be open-minded. It's not, if we are Taiwanese Chamber, it doesn't mean that we only work with the Taiwanese, right? So I was the president. And then at the next organization I probably will be involved is the Asian Chamber right now, because I think Asian Chamber should, like Hispanic Chamber or other chambers, it's not only a chamber, but it should be the voice of the Asian community, because you carry such a good name. And one of the proud things I did is the Chinese Community Center. when I was the chairman, I helped to raise the funds to build a new facility. About the budget is about $7 million, and with the first time, this is the first time the Asian organization got a funding from the federal through the city of Houston, a 1.5 million, grant to build that senior center. And so again, I think that hope just the beginning, and then I think more Asian organizations should towards that, just not only raising funds within your community. Of course, we raise another $5 million, through different foundations, and so that's something that I think it will create a lot of benefits to our communities.
Could you speak a little bit more about promoting different Asian policies in DC?
Yeah, what we did is, what I did is, the national leader will always, to make like a 3 points or 5 points policy every year. So in every May, we visit, the capital from all over the nation. So every region or every city, your own congressman or senator. So we normally get about 300, 500 people to meet at the DC and then visit their office and then tell about the policy that we want them to or support them, and all these things, and then hopefully they can help us to change, which is how we do it. And then so what happened is I copied that in Texas. So AREA, we call it Asian Research. So we have 4 chapters in Texas: Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, and Austin. So in every May, we also visit when there's a session. During the session, we have right now we have 3 Asian state rep in Austin, 2 from Houston, 1 from Dallas, and then they are the only Asian. You can remember there's hundreds of state rep over there. They need support, so we get about 300 people to be at the how do you say that, at the state capitol, and then to show our face, to show Asian that we're supporting our state rep, and also we want to other organizations to copy that in every state. So at least show that we care about politics, we care about our benefits. So I think that's the next movement we want to do. Yeah, try to encourage people to vote, to influence that, and then whenever it's a voter registration, whenever there's a census going, we always encourage people to participate, because I think it's non-political, doesn't matter what organization you are, it's for the benefits of us and for our future generations. Yeah.
And so what would you define as your own American dream? And while reflecting on your achievements in Houston, do you think you've accomplished this?
My dream never ends. But yeah, I'm proud of what I've done. People say I'm successful. I don't feel that way, because you always have to compete with yourself. If you're satisfied, you're done, right? So you always try to think, how am I going to improve? Just not myself. I'm thinking, if I can improve all the surrounding, all the people around me, then I'm going to benefit anyway. You cannot just say I have to just thinking of yourself only, because it's not enough. If you're surrounded by the successful people, you'll be success. So I think Houston is just beginning, because what people say is like we are a young, dynamic city. It's good for young people, because our population will be doubled till maybe 2025 or later. But if you go to other cities, you find out Houston is really dynamic. You know, we are moving, and then people are nice, people are friendly, right? 25%, I was told, 20% or 25% of the Houstonians were born outside the United States. So now people recognize that, but we have to let people know that, and especially as minority, because other people wouldn't help us to promote that. And we have to think of what is the advantage of that. So I think my goal is, of course, I will continue to grow my business, but I also want to help our community to grow, and then do become not just say, actually we are one of the mainstream right now. Yeah, that's my goal. Yeah.
And so what would you say is your cultural identity now, and how has it changed over the years?
My cultural identity is a good question. Actually, my son asked me this a good question. Dad, are you a Taiwanese? Because I am married to I'm married to a girl from China, Hunan. So definitely she's a Chinese, right? So I said, I'm a Taiwanese, but I'm also a Chinese because of my cultural background. And you know, all the language, my first language is Chinese. So I'm not proud of the, you know, my heritage. But I only have one passport. That's a U.S. passport. So I'm a U.S. citizen, you know. So I really, if you ask me, I say I'm American, but I'm also a Chinese American, you know. So my son said, yeah, I agree with you, but I'm American. I say, yeah, you're right.
Do you think there was a moment that you felt like a true American? And are there moments where you feel more Taiwanese or American?
Well, I feel I think I'm American, but the other people may not think I'm American, because even my child, they are really born here American. People will still, if they don't know him, they still assume, oh, are you American born or you're foreign born, right? And then you ask you, where you from, right? And even my friend, Gordon Kwan, he was born here, third generation. People still think, are you American? Of course, you know. But if you ask me, when I was raised in Taiwan, we're always thinking we're Chinese, we're not Taiwanese. Because my parents are from China, from Shanghai. So they always tell me, even on ID card, which province you're from, you know. I think the political change, you know. But it doesn't matter, if you say Taiwanese, yes, I was born in Taiwan. But are you Chinese or Taiwanese? I would say I'm Taiwanese and Chinese, but I mean, they're all the same to me. That's my origin, but I'm from America, you know. So that's their business. I mean, they want to be independent, whatever. I think you have to think about the people who live in Taiwan. Are they really want to be independent, or they've been educated as they are Taiwanese only? But the book they read is Chinese, it's not Taiwanese. Only the language, the dialect they say is Taiwanese. You know, just changed by the Taiwanese. And then, maybe this identity, but the culture-wise, I think it's a Chinese heritage. So to answer your question is, of course, I mean, when I'm in the business, I try to stay neutral. You know, I work with the people from Taiwan. I work with people with China, but on the political side, I try to stay neutral. You know, and I say I'm American anyway. Yeah.
If your great-great-grandchildren were to come back and watch this record years from now, is there anything that you would like them to know?
Well, I'll tell them, you know, I'm proud to be American. And I think the reason I can achieve something is because the heritage that I was brought up to give me the motivation and incentive. You know, it's our family tradition always to help people, be generous, and then you'll get the award anyway. I wish that my children, all the grandchildren, American can be a really a country that, you know, no discrimination, because you know, we came here late, but I think we contribute also. And then what I observe from you know, some friends is the future generation, when they grew up in America, they lost the really, you know, the reason why we came here. You know, I wish my children, my grandchildren, can always visit the place where I come from, and they will appreciate what American give us. Because I think there's a lot of things that we don't know. Always, you know, when people they're not in America, they say, "Oh, America is like a heaven." You know, of course, I mean, in heaven you still have some rich people and some poor people, but you should see other things that we enjoy. And then if you don't go to see those places, you don't feel, you know, how lucky we are. And that's why I think we have to remember that, you know, it's nothing for free. Yeah, and really, it's go back to you know, the Confucius mind. I mean, we want the whole world is in harmony. Yeah.
I think we'll be good on time.
Good on time. Okay, good.
Thank you so much.
I told Akil, right?
Yes, sir.
If you want the second interview or no interview, come to my office. Let's go to enjoy the meal. Yeah, yeah.